Imagine you're in an operating room. Everything is stable, but every single decision you make depends on predicting exactly how a drug is going to move through a patient's body. Too much? That's dangerous. Too little? Ineffective. It's this incredible puzzle that seems, well, almost impossible to solve. How do you possibly map a drug's journey through the mind-boggling complexity of a human being?
And this isn't just a thought experiment. This is a real post from an actual anesthesiologist who was trying to write software for this exact problem. They wanted a way to predict how a drug like propofol moves from your blood into your muscle, then your fat, and finally to your brain. The thing is, our bodies don't work in nice, neat, straight lines. So the challenge here is just massive. You've got to track how the drug's concentration is changing second by second across all these different compartments in the body. This creates this tangled web of what are called differential equations, the language of calculus that describes constant change. Trying to solve that directly, it's a mathematical nightmare. And for a doctor who needs answers now, it's just not practical. So you have this doctor staring down this incredibly complex system of equations, and they need a fast, precise solution to make medicine safer. A close enough guess from a computer simulation is just too slow for the real-time feedback you'd need in an operating room. There has to be a better way, right?
Well, it turns out there is. And the answer isn't some brand new discovery. It's a brilliantly clever mathematical tool that was developed almost 250 years ago. Think of it less like a calculator and more like a universal translator, a tool that takes a problem written in a super difficult language and translates it into one that's way, way easier to understand.
And the hero of our story is called the Laplace transform. Now, you might have heard that name in an old engineering or math class, but believe me, its application in biology is nothing short of revolutionary. So what does this thing actually do? The core idea is just brilliant. The Laplace transform takes a problem from the difficult world of calculus, with all its rates of change and messy derivatives, and it converts it into the simple, familiar language of algebra. All of a sudden, instead of wrestling with these complex rates, you're just solving for x. Okay, so this strategy is just so elegant. Here's how it works. You start with your messy, real-world calculus problem. Step 2, you hit it with the Laplace transform to turn it into simple algebra. Step 3, you solve that easy algebraic problem. And then, for the final step, use the inverse Laplace transform to translate that simple answer right back into the solution for your original complex problem. It's this beautiful mathematical detour that makes everything possible. So once you have this mathematical trick up your sleeve, the possibilities just explode. You can start to build these incredibly powerful predictive models. You're not just observing biology anymore, you're actually creating a mathematical map of it. This whole method lets scientists create what's called a transfer function. It sounds complicated, but it's really just a direct, clear mathematical link between a cause and an effect. For our anesthetist, the input is the drug dosage, and the output is the blood concentration. For a genetic engineer, the input might be a genetic signal, and the output is how much protein gets made. It makes the whole system predictable. And this mathematical key doesn't just open one lock. Let's take a look at how it's unlocking progress all across medicine and biology in some truly incredible ways. Okay, so let's circle back to our anesthesist. For a drug like propofol, this transform provides the exact solution they were looking for. It allows for software that can model drug distribution for any individual patient, which, that opens the door for truly personalized medicine. It's also a total game changer in synthetic biology. When scientists are designing new biological circuits, these tiny systems that control which genes turn on or off, they can use the Laplace transform to analyze and predict how their creations will behave before they even build them in a lab. It's like beta testing a living system on a computer. And the applications just keep going, right into one of the most complex areas of all, cancer research. See, understanding how a tumor grows is fundamentally a problem of dynamic change, which is perfectly suited for this kind of math. And this quote right here, it just perfectly illustrates the real-world impact. This isn't just some theoretical exercise. Mathematical models built with these tools are literally helping doctors predict tumor growth, which in turn helps them plan more effective treatments. We're talking about math with life-saving potential.
This is really a paradigm shift. We're moving from an era of just watching biology happen to one where we can model it, predict it, and even engineer it with some real mathematical precision.
The contrast is just stark. The old way involved slow, super expensive lab experiments or computer simulations that took forever to run. This new way allows for in silico experiments, Basically, virtual trials run on a computer that are faster, way more precise, and give us a much, much deeper understanding of the machinery of life.
And that's the beautiful reality of it all. What can often feel like some abstract, dusty old mathematics is actually one of the most powerful tools we have. It's an indispensable key for decoding the complex, dynamic, and sometimes bewildering systems that make up life itself.
So it leaves you with this final thought, right? We found a mathematical key that helps unlock drug interactions, genetic circuits, and even tumor growth. What other massive, complex mysteries in biology, climate science, maybe even economics are just out there waiting for us to find the right mathematical key to unlock them?